even if you're not successful, you will be if you have that mentality. Just once you get over that and just understand, and then don't, like you said before, don't copy anyone. Like, it's not going to get you anywhere. If I suddenly try to be another DJ, I just make them bigger.
Creative Conversations.
Hey Zouk family, welcome back. Today is a very special interview chat, catch up with the man who sold out the fastest Zouk Genting ever sold out, not once but twice. Amazing guest, amazing set, always great fun. Ben Nicky, how are you?
Yes, mate. Good. Currently in a hotel room, isolated and stuck in Thailand, but apart from that, I'm all good.
Welcome back to Asia, Ben. Welcome back to Asia. What are you doing over here?
I'm playing at 808 Festival in about 10 days. It's one of the only countries in the world right now that's open. So I think Taiwan and Thailand are like one of the only countries that have got like 2 or 3 cases a day of COVID. So it's safe. But the reason I think they've done so well is they're making us artists come over, have like two COVID tests before we come. Then I've got to stay in this hotel room for 2 weeks, which is a long time, which is a bit overkill. But if it means the festival's going to go ahead, then great. So yeah, I'm on day 5 or 6. So I've got like 10 days left, and then I can literally hug people, touch people, not wear a mask. So I'm looking forward to that, man.
Okay, well, first and foremost, welcome back. It's great to see you over on this part of the world. We've missed you. But catching up with what you've been up to on your social media, I see you've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. You've been interacting a lot with your fans. You even got a new Facebook group set up to bring everyone together, no?
Yeah, man. I think I'm currently a full-time Call of Duty player. Retired DJ. Yeah, that's been good. Yeah, it's been really good, man. Like I've been I think during this time, like we were all kind of in the same position. So like rather than like, you know, I have ignored music a little bit. I have been quiet and I haven't like done many like live streams and stuff. Mainly being I just didn't want to oversaturate the exclusiveness of what I do. My DJing's always been about production and sets and madness. So I kind of just thought, you know what, I'm gonna like relate to my fans in different kind of ways instead of having to do it by music. So we done like there's a group. Oh, I've actually got a flag here. 1 second, I'll show you right here. So Misfit is everyone that, if you can see it here. Oh, is it the wrong way around? Hang on. So this is my new brand, Misfit. You can probably see here. Perfect. So like I've always played, anyone that knows me, you obviously know, I play a lot of styles, mainly from the trance scene I originated from. But before that, I was a hardstyle kind of DJ, hard trance, UK hardcore, Melbourne bounce. I've always played all kind of music. So like I kind of like when I started getting bigger, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a brand that represents who I am. I don't want to claim to be a trance DJ. I don't want to claim to be a hard DJ. I just want to be Ben. And I can go and do your state of trances and your transmissions and do a trance set if I need to. And I enjoy doing that. But I can also go and do my own shows and do a harder set or a techno set or a house set, you know, and I really enjoy that. So this brand is called Misfit or Misfits, but I call it like a misfit really. And it's for a group of people that all just feel like they're a bit of a misfit themselves and you know, fans of not just my music, but maybe in personal life have got something going on, or just want to just feel like they want to be part of this group. It's of people like myself who just don't quite fit in. So the Misfit brand is growing really well. I've already got 6,000 people joining the first couple of weeks, and I mean, obviously on my main socials, I've got a couple of million fans now, but I've got like a nice smaller group, which is like more intimate, and I talk to them quite a lot. And if you watch this and you're a fan and you haven't joined, but you do really like a bit of what I would call like a more of a super fan, then come and join, man. Like you just got to answer a couple of questions to get onto the page, and then it's free. So yeah, that's the Misfit thing, yeah.
But to be fair to you, Ben, you've always been super interactive. I mean, even when you were around at the time with us, you did amazing. I think it was one of the most personable after movies we've ever done. We really see your personality. And then afterwards, I noticed, as soon as you even posted on your own socials, there were people bantering you immediately, and you were straight in there with replies, which is really nice. Because you'd literally left us 2-hour trip to the airport, you're sitting in departure lounge and you're bantering your fans, which I think is a great interactive touch.
There's not many anyone that's like got a reply from me on my social media, like just know that like I'm not gonna name names and like no disrespect to anyone, but there are quite a lot of DJs out there that have like their managers look after their socials and stuff. I do all it myself. Like all my social media is me. If I comment and reply to you, that is me. I would never let any of my mates or my team, family, anyone like touch my socials. It's me. So yeah, I just try to like be, I don't know, I just try to be personable and just become like, I'm just one of the boys. So I just like kind of like to make everyone feel like a bit of a family. And don't get me wrong, like if you don't get a reply or there are times where with my schedule it's really hard normally just to reply to one person, but I really try and put a bit of extra effort in and just kind of like make everyone feel like they're kind of part of this whole amazing thing that's been happening.
Yeah, I remember on the walk back to the hotel, people were flooding you for photos. You stopped for everyone, had a laugh, had a chat. You even like deep dive into people, see how they are, which is a nice touch because it's very easy to take a photo, but actually interact is a lot. Let me ask you this. We've been chatting to a lot of different DJs over the last 6 months. We've been talking to them about their advice to people because it's been a tricky year for everyone, yourself included. You've been on the road. I remember you telling me the sheer number of nights you spend in a hotel room versus your own pad is ridiculous. It's a huge shock to the system. What's your main advice to people who've been really struggling this year? Because you're a very positive guy and you have a huge following. I think people would love to get some enthusiasm and some encouragement from you.
I feel that like in the day and age that we're in now, everyone wants to be like the ultimate influencer, the ultimate DJ, the ultimate likes, the ultimate comments, the ultimate like social media kind of like successful popular person. But from someone that's like gone through quite a lot of that, starting as quite an insecure kind of quiet-ish kind of dude who was always out to try and prove myself, I felt like during that time, like when I was first started DJing, I always like was over the top. Like I always had to be like quite extravagant to stand out. And don't get me wrong, like I was still being quite true to myself, but I was younger. And I then kind of found like once you then kind of make it as such, becoming one of the busiest DJs on the planet, for the last few years, I kind of found that like I then found that, do you know what, this money, this lifestyle, this tiredness, this absence from my family, I love my job, love music, love doing it all, but you do take a massive personal sacrifice. And then I sat back during lockdown and went, do you know what? It's the first break I've had in 7-8 years, like longer. I've never been at home in like properly for 7-8 years, never. And it's very hard for people to see that side of it. And they think, oh, yeah, it must be amazing. You're doing this, you're doing that. And it is, but there's a massive sacrifice as well. And like, guys, it's all like good making money and, having this kind of lifestyle. But if you haven't got any time to spend it or have time with your family or, do amazing things on top of your job, it's not always what it seems to be. So one thing I've learned massively, and anyone that watches that, is just if you don't quite feel good enough, like it's not a problem because you always want what you can't have. I sometimes sit at home and go, well, not even at home, sit on a plane and go, I wish I was with my friends having a Domino's right now playing cards. But even though I'm in that position, I'll look back at the things that I'm losing out on. And if you're not a successful, massive DJ or whatever, and you want to be, you're probably going, I wish I wasn't sat in this room right now. I wish I was on tour. So I probably wish I was where you were and you wish where I was. So like, don't ever feel like undervalued or anything, because I strongly believe that during lockdown, I've like learned to like communicate a bit more with my friends and family. And obviously it's been hard to see everyone, but I'm now trying to learn a bit more. Like, I'm trying to find the Ben that I haven't really like had time to think for years. I didn't realize this. I didn't really like, if that makes sense. I haven't really like had time to sit down and go like, who am I? Like, what do I enjoy doing other than DJing and being on a plane? So I love my job and I'll never obviously stop for quite a while, but I think definitely now I'm going to handpick a few more like shows that aren't quite, because before I was just, as you know, I was just getting on planes, mate, non-stop, and I was just putting myself in situations where I was turning up to shows and I was like still so jet lagged or hungover and all this stuff, and like I didn't really get the most out of it. And I've luckily got to the point now where like I set up a future for myself financially, and I'm really into investments and other projects other than music. So I kind of feel like I actually can probably sit back, and luckily now, and I massively appreciate that, but I can probably sit back now and start to enjoy life once it gets back to normal, obviously, so yeah, that's a long story. So yeah.
Well, I think it's sound advice, because you've basically given people a chance to reflect on what they do have rather than what they don't have. Because if people are stuck at home, then spend a bit more time. I mean, I'm an expat, so I don't see my family. I haven't seen them for a year. I haven't seen my fiance in a year, and so I know when I do, just even sitting down and watching a film will be super bonus, rather than before, as you say, when I'm with you till 5 a.m. and we're having a great laugh. And I would never swap those memories, but you're right. You won't take for granted what previously maybe you have done in the past.
I think as well, I think with anything, I think you get desensitized quite quickly. And I think by doing this for so long, I was playing the same kind of music every week. And I also know what tracks go off. So there's certain songs that that you're going to play because they go off. And I really respect the DJs that don't do that and just go and play new music every week. But for me, like, I'm playing for the crowd. If a crowd wants a certain song, I'll play it. So what I did do at the start of lockdown is I didn't listen to music until this week, which is 9 months without music. Like, I lead music, as in put my record box on, download new music and listen to tracks. And I put my headphones on the road somewhere. I put my headphones on for the first time in like 9 months. And I just went, I was sat here, mate, in this room, which I'm in quarantine. I sat here, mate, going mental. I was like, this is sick. This is sick. Oh my God, I need to play it. So I just started doing a mix straight away. Luckily, I got Ableton on my computer on this one. So I just started putting like a little mix together, and I was like, yeah, man, like I got the inspiration back. And then because I've had some kind of hope with this gig coming, and obviously like the whole like vaccine thing and stuff's coming next year, hopefully. I kind of like now I'm starting to now like listen to more music, knowing that it's going to come back. Before I was a bit worried it wouldn't come back, so I didn't want to like go near it. So I was like, oh, I don't want to like tease myself. But now I'm just like, let's go, you know.
What music are you most excited about playing? What was name me a couple of tracks that got you bouncing?
Do you know what? Right, there's some great tracks by a guy called Audion, who I guess you know when I'm doing the beats. Like Audion stuff is great. There were just some banging tracks, but you know what? Really, there was a lot of like I was just delving into some of the older trance stuff. There's some great stuff. Just some like kind of get like loads of different types of tech trance I was really getting into, and I was going through my set in about 10 days, and obviously because it's my first set in like 9 months, I'm just thinking what is going to make me happy. Like the first drop, can you imagine that? Like the first drop, we've got like mines and confetti cannons and CO2 and all this like thousands of pounds worth of like production for my set. So I'm just like, what is going to be the perfect track? So that's really like what. But yeah, there wasn't really one artist that like just really stood out. But yeah, I tell you, like Audion and like Bluestone stuff was kind of like, that's the stuff that makes me like vibe during the day. But like the harder stuff, I kind of just like, yeah, that's more for like when I'm going to go at a festival, go mental. So yeah, I just listen to it all.
You're doing a festival, so it must be very exciting to catch up with some of your other mates in the industry. I've got to tell you this, the last performer that we had back in March, on March 14th, was Marcus Schultz, and I was chatting to him about the previous year, and he was very complimentary about you. Okay. We were chatting about how big your show was, and he's a big fan of what you do. Who are you looking forward to bumping into when you play this set in Thailand? So
I'm here when all of us DJs started quarantine pretty similar time. So when we're allowed out for 90 minutes a day to go in like into a specific area to be around the other people that are quarantined. So I'm good friends with Keizo. Keizo's here, he's an American DJ. I'm not sure if you've encountered his stuff, but he's huge in America and especially in Asia as well. He's like kind of like hardstyle mixed with kind of like bass, dubstep kind of stuff, like, and rock and roll is really cool, like fusion. I'd say he's kind of like what I do in the UK. He's like the American version, like he just does his own thing, all genres, everything. He's here with his girlfriend Cray, who's another great artist. Vinny Beachy here, bumped into them briefly, obviously good mates with one of them. Well, it's one of them here. I'm good mates with both of them, but one of them is here. They normally tour, like one of them normally tours. Ray Owl's here, obviously who you know really well from Zouk. Our W&W stars with W&W boys, yeah, everyone's just mate. I'm because my time zone's all messed, mate. I'm not used to this jet lag anymore, so my answer. Sorry. Yeah.
So tell me this, 2021, fresh start, we're getting back to normal. What are you looking forward to the most? What are you just said you've taken some time, you're looking at some investments, you're looking at getting some more personal time. What do you want from 2021?
I just want to find a balance in my personal life and my work. I don't really class DJing as, I hate using the word work, but at the end of the day, it's work that I put into it. It's I've done this my whole life. So I'll give it the word work just to talk about what we're talking about. But yeah, it's amazing. Like I love it. But I really want to balance like work, DJing, which is obviously amazing, and my personal Ben time, and like just fuse it a little bit more. Because before my DJing really took over my whole life, and I wasn't able to get any time to myself. And I know I've got amazing fans over the world, and they're always like, come here, or do this for me or do that for me. And I really try my hardest, but I did sacrifice a little bit of my own kind of self during the last 5 or 6 years. So I say this, I'll probably be back to doing 20 gigs a month again. I know what I'm like. Do you know what I mean? I say this, it'll probably always be that way. But at the moment, I just can see myself like you guys are going to see a better Ben if I'm in a better personal space out of DJing and stuff and work, because I just feel like I perform better. Although I can perform in many states, I'm sure you've probably seen me in some states, right? But I just need to I think when the traveling comes back, I need to just get into that real like confidence zone and my personal life as well, and just kind of fuse it all together, because I need to help build relationships out of this industry as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and I am glad that you've got the opportunity to do that. And I saw you in an incredible sting-in, 1,200 people packed to the rafters who just didn't move. And even at the end, when you put up the lights to take the Wi-Fi, they were still chanting for more. So I've seen an exceptional show, and it really was one of the best that we had. One of the things that I'm excited for you is, obviously, we hope you had a good time at Zouk Genting, but Zouk Vegas is around the corner. I know you're in touch with them. We'd love to see you do the Triple Crown, Singapore, Genting, and Vegas. That would be phenomenal for 2021.
Yeah, I mean, like Vegas has always been like I've done several EDC Vegases, but there's never really been many DJs from my kind of background that have had like, you know, shows over there. I've done marquee and stuff like that, but Vegas, I did live in Vegas. I actually had a relationship there a couple of years, well, 3 or 4 years ago, and I lived there for 6 months. And it's very much about, you know, like bottle club with your kind of hip hop tracks and that kind of thing. And it's not really about the DJ. It's more about the experience and flashing money and stuff. But luckily, like you said, Zouk's coming to Vegas. They have a Vegas, you know, like a flagship, you know, what do you call it, casino or super club or whatever you want to call it. But because obviously my fan base is really strong in Asia, I'm guessing it will appeal to them, because all the people that come over to that club from Asia, I would relate to them. So I think it's good for me, because I'll be able to put my kind of brand into Vegas, so to speak. But yeah, like you said, we don't know what's going on right now with anything. So I haven't put any strongholds on certain, you know, aspects of, you know, my career right now. But I mean, my UK shows are kind of ready to go. But apart from that, I'm kind of just like, we're just waiting, because there's no point. I don't want to let people down, because you don't know what's going to happen with this whole COVID thing. So, but it's exciting times after.
I loved hearing just before COVID lockdown, Pete Tong gave you a phenomenal shout out, gave you a great dedication to Radio 1. That must have been awesome for such a legend to give you such recognition.
Yeah, you know what? Doing an essential mix for any DJ is like the holy grail of mixes. I mean, like 4 or 5 years ago plus, you really got even more recognition for radio. I think essential mix, it really was like the iconic. Everyone turned the radio on, it was the thing. I think as time's gone on and social media and things happened, I don't think many people, other than the people that know, probably get to hear the essential mix as much as they should. But yeah, I've met Pete a few times. He's a real nice guy. He was very complimentary to me when I first, he was involved with some of my shows that I did in America with an agency a few years ago. And yeah, he was really nice. And they said the same thing. They were like really proud that someone's doing something from the UK that's a little bit different, but it's kind of up there. So I was really appreciative of that. But yeah, I just went on to Radio 1, and they Radio 1 to play quite a few of my bits now, which has been cool. But they're just having, I did one for Diplo actually on Radio 1 as well, but just having the opportunity to showcase who Ben is. And I played so many different genres on there, but not like the stuff you'd hear in a festival. You know, like I said, I play every set dedicated to the audience. So Radio 1 is more credible, a little bit more progressive, that kind of thing. So I did a set catered more to that kind of market, but it's still my twist on it. So if you listen to it, it starts at 123, 124, and it ends at 180 BPM. So I go from like progressive up to like hardstyle and UK hardcore. So I mean, like, if that doesn't show you like what versatile I am, then yeah, obviously I'm a misfit, as they say. Yeah,
I don't know many people who are as versatile to you, and personally there's some of the 180 stuff that's not my cup of tea, but I really enjoyed it. And it's also the fact that you can't get bored. You just constantly, your heart's racing, you're having an awesome time, and it was phenomenal for me. So I can see why people, and I really recommend, as you say, people check out Essential Selection, the Essential Mix. I mean, I grew up at boarding school just waiting for Pete Tong to tell me who was next, and it was like, I mean, we're talking about 20 plus years ago. You had to listen in, but I still think it's got serious credence. And if he's giving you shout outs like that, that's a huge compliment. The guy's he's an industry legend. So I have to ask you this, Ben, new music, surely you got some tricks up your sleeve for us?
Yeah, do you know what? I think the same as every other DJ right now. At the end of the day, when you release music, nowadays music's not really financially, you know, good as touring. So quite often as artists, and if you're watching this and you've never really learned much about the scene, we as an artist would really release songs normally so that everyone talks about you. Like, this new track from XXX is good, you know, whatever. And then normally you would get more gigs off the back of it because there's more hype on you. You'd sell more tickets. Oh, this guy's single's great. Should we go and see him DJ? And that's where you make your money is touring. You know, don't get me wrong, like your Calvins and those guys, they do really well with music. But in the underground scenes as much, it's, you know, you don't really get as many like TV plays, radio plays and stuff. So it's not really like, you know, it's not as lucrative at all as touring. So because we're not touring right now, most DJs are like, well, do you know what? All my best music, I'm not going to release it right now because I can't get shows off the back of the hype. So and everyone's kind of a bit bored and saturated with, you know, hearing the same stuff over and over again. So for me, I kind of kept all my best tunes. Like, I mean, during the start of lockdown, I've done so many collaborations, probably like 12 to 13 tracks, which are insane and very, very different stuff. But like, I mean, I'm so lucky to have a big team around me when it comes to my production as well, because I was touring for like 9 years of my life. For me to get into a studio was so hard. I mean, and people would say, well, don't be lazy, take a month off, go and do an album. But like I said before, when touring is the 99.999% of your income and your livelihood, it doesn't make sense to do that. You know, you don't want to go home and, you know, sit there for all day. So I've had some amazing people that I've worked with on, you know, with some great, like, you know, writers and stuff on my vocals and stuff as well. And they've been absolutely great. And one thing I liked about lockdown is I've had so much more time for myself in the studio. Sound design was one thing that I always struggled on, and like, you know, making great sounds from scratch rather than using presets. And I've learned so much new stuff which I'd missed in, like, you know, several years of being on tour. So yeah, I've got back in the studio a lot myself, and I've really been enjoying it. And I've got you know, some of these collabs, I've got collaborations, for example, like literally, like, and this, mate, I swear to you, I can't even explain how special this song is. I truly think it will be the first kind of track that's got a trancey melody, but it's still commercial, that will do well for the first time in a long time. I'm so confident in it. And I just can't, I'm not allowed to show anyone, because it's been like we've got a sample in it that no one knows, that got cleared just recently, so I won't tell anyone. But that, mate, I'm so proud of that. And then I've got one called Drown You Out that's out next week, which is like kind of, it's a fusion of like camel fat sounds, but with trance, and then like kind of MK kind of, it's like house meets trance, which is cool. I think that'll do really well on the radio. But I've also got, because everyone knows I don't just do chart stuff, I've then got, like, you know, collaborations with Steve Aoki. I've then got like big, you know, trance tracks with something like Standerwick, and then my own solo ones as well in trancing. I've got UK hardcore ones, I've got hardstyle tracks, I've got reverse bass, uplifting trance, like literally everything. I don't know if you remember a track called Apollo Dance years ago. It's a classic, like Clubland song. I've redone that. The cover is Ben Nicky and Apollo Dance. That comes out in like 2 months. So I'm kind of like going across all the genres that I love and just making great tracks. And like I said, I was really, whilst I was touring, I had some great advice from amazing producers, some incredible people that have really like kind of given me some more momentum. Now I'm back to it in the studio whilst COVID's on. So yeah, it's been really good. And yeah, some massive stuff coming.
And where can people check out the new releases? The
Drown You Out one, I'll probably put the link up in like on my story in the next few days. That's so like, but I mean, if you follow my socials, you can't really miss stuff. I mean, but just go to Spotify, follow me, done. Go to SoundCloud, follow me. Go to iTunes, YouTube. As long as you've got follow me one of those four, you'll come across the new music. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty vocal with all my releases, so yeah.
That's phenomenal. So we'll definitely attach all of your socials at the bottom of this chat anyway, so people will be able to check it out. So you've been stuck at home, you're back on the plane, you're in Thailand. Where are you looking forward to traveling to the most?
Obviously Malaysia, you know, come on now. Obviously Malaysia, mate. I need to get some satay. You know what was funny? Obviously I'm sat in this room all day in quarantine right now, and you have to order your meals like the day before on your computer, and you choose what you want, and they bring it all sealed, like, you know, safety, and then leave it outside your door. Mate, I had satay every day here. I know I'm not in Malaysia, but even Thailand's got great satay. Some other places that I really like in terms of the holidays, I spend a lot of time in Bali. I had a residency in Bali at Luxy, which is a club there, and I really enjoy my downtime in Bali. Australia, got a lot of personal ties in Australia, like in the past, with like relationships and family and good friends there and stuff. So I really love Australia, you know, as well. Obviously all my usual place in the UK, but I've still been traveling around the UK whilst I've been during lockdown, because I've had work, like projects and like live streams and stuff to film. So I still kind of traveled a fair bit in the UK. And I do miss a lot of America and stuff as well. I mean, I probably missed loads of countries out because I've just traveled the world for so long. I just kind of like lose track of where I've been. But yeah, I think really like Bali and Australia, the two places in terms of like holidays and vacations that I've really like kind of like had a good time. Oh, and Eos in Greece. I love Eos.
Is it possible to fly around Europe at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, like if you're working, it's fine. So like for me, I'm always like been going away. I've actually just bought another house in Belfast, Northern Ireland, which is like my biggest market. So you know, during that kind of time when they did open up everything, like long as you were socially distanced, it was quite good because I got to purchase a new house, and like it was kind of like my dream house with like loads of acres of land, and like I've always wanted to live in the country like my parents do now. So that was really like fun for me to be able to do that and like kind of, you know, get into the process of building my perfect kind of, it's already built, but like just add in some extra stuff that I wanted. But yeah, I mean, traveling, I've also been to Turkey a few weeks ago before it got really bad. It was all socially distanced still, but I managed to have a holiday there. I had quarantine coming back, but we bought a villa in the middle of nowhere, just me and my friends. So we all got COVID tested, so that was good. But yeah, I mean, like I've traveled a little bit during COVID, but yeah, just those places really. The rest of the time I stayed at home just to be safe and that, you know.
So I really want to ask you this before you go, Ben. We always ask people advice for the future generations, but yours is a specific one I want to ask. You're someone who may have admitted to have been a bit insecure when you're younger, but what you are is totally unique. I think you're super confident, and you always carry yourself as Ben Nicky. You don't carry yourself trying to be anyone else. You're definitely not attempting to follow in anyone's footsteps. What would be your advice to people out there in order to, in an era where everyone compares themselves with everyone else online and people feel deeply insecure about what they're achieving versus someone else in this online social world, what would be your word of advice to someone to being totally comfortable in their own skin?
I mean, like you said, it doesn't matter what you do in life, like someone's always going to judge you. So like when I first started in music, I kind of like, because I was a little bit different, I always felt like, oh, you know, you'd always get, you know, purists or what, you know, people that weren't quite into your stuff that would always want to be, you know, very negative on what you're doing. Now, I thrive off that because, like, as long as I'm a good person and I'm doing what I enjoy, like, you know, clearly, if you're doing stuff, if people are talking about you, it's because they're not where you are and they want to be where you are. That's just simple science. Anyone that's watching that thinks, oh, you know, like, that ever sits online and, like, you know, talks about anything like negatively for no reason, it's because you probably want to be that person, and you admit that to yourself. You know, it's true. Because you know the reason I know that, because I used to do it myself. When I was an upcoming DJ, I would sit online and be like, that guy doesn't deserve it, or that music he plays shit. I was sat there one day, once I then made it, and I would then happy in my own skin, I went, why would I do that? Like, you know, why? Because I wanted to be that guy, and now I am that guy, if not better. So you learn a lot and you mature a lot getting older. And don't get me wrong, I still love to party and do that kind of stuff, but really, I feel if you want to be in your own skin and do this properly, first of all, you have to get ready to be criticized, because it doesn't matter. Even Mother Teresa, when she was alive or whatever, you know what I mean? She would still she could cure everything and be the nicest person donating money to the whole world. You still get one person go, yeah, you're shit. You know what I mean? That is just part of life and what we live in now. And the minute you can live in that bubble and go, okay, that's someone who wants to be me, or at least wants to try and get some attention for themselves. But I'm a good person. I'm doing what I love. I'm successful in it right now. And even if you're not successful, you will be if you have that mentality. Just once you get over that and just understand, and then don't, like you said before, don't copy anyone. Like, it's not going to get you anywhere. If I suddenly try to be another DJ, I just make them bigger. So I think, like, I have noticed a few people now and then trying to do a few things that I've done. I never say anything, but like, it's a compliment. But I sometimes want to shake him and go, mate, you're just helping me. Like, you're not helping your own brand. So yeah, it's very hard to tell someone how to overcome, you know, going into a path of copying people. But the one thing I just said is that, like, I have been on an aeroplane every week for like 8 years, and when I first started, I never thought it would lead to anything. Now I'm sat here talking about all this amazing stuff with you, going, oh man, it's insane. But that's because I was consistent for a very, very long time. Things don't come, you don't get given things for free. Luck doesn't come into it much. I mean, you obviously have a few lucky things here and there, but like, you have to work your ass off, and no one gets given these kind of opportunities for free. And I put my hard work in. Everyone's got different routes to success. Some people are amazing producers and have #1 hits. Some people are good DJs. Some people put a helmet on, you know what I mean, and stand out and have a brand. We've all got different ways of being successful, and there's no right or wrong to how to make it, as long as you're a good person. So all I can say is just follow that route, and Bob's your uncle, and just give me 10% commission for giving you that.
There he is. But look, Ben, that's sound advice, and I think it's great for me to get a chance to ask such a unique question to someone that I admire for making it, for purely being. And as Tong said, you've trailblazed on your own. You created a niche of your own, and you've been a success by pursuing your own direction. I think that's fantastic. First and foremost, mate, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. We love hearing from you. We loved having you in Genting last year. not just for your performance. Don't get me wrong, a sellout show is phenomenal, but it was an absolute pleasure to spend time with you. It was an honor to learn about your career and just share meals and get to know Ben as Ben. And you're one of the most down-to-earth, nice guys that I've met in the industry. It's honestly a pleasure. And you reached out to me on Instagram and said, let's do this chat. It wasn't like streams of agents and back and forth. You what you see with Ben Nicky is what you get, which is why you're so likable.
I control that. Like, I think, most DJs that are in the position that I've been in, they have a big team around them in terms of like who controls everything. Like I said, from your social media to your management and stuff. I've got a very close group of people that work for me, and that is the word. They literally work for me, do the best job possible, great people. But when it comes to making decisions and things like that, I don't like let people just go, hey Ben, I've got a good opportunity for you. I if I see something I want to do it, I'll do it, because I want to do it. I'm not ever going to be let anyone like mold me, because I wouldn't be Ben and I wouldn't be sat here now.
Well, mate, stay safe, take care. Congratulations on getting back on the road. Thanks for taking the time to chat to us, and we can't wait to see you in person soon.
Thank you, brother.
Take care.